should have blown my nose before, but I didn't. Sorry. 9:22 p.m. July 7:30, 2024. July 30th, 2024. Just blew my nose. Just finished Sister Carrie. And spoiler alert, if you still want to read the book, don't listen to this. I'm not going to say too much because there's a lot I still want to do yet, but I just finished the book. And I don't know what to think, honestly. It really ends on a downer note. And I'd like to talk about this a little bit more in depth, possibly tomorrow. But as like I wanted to read the, let's see, I already read, okay, hang on. I already read the Theodore Dreiser little preamble biography. I already read The World of Theodore Dreiser and Sister Carrie, I think. Yeah, I did. But I have not read the introduction because I didn't want to spoil the novel for myself. But I want to read the introduction, and I want to read the endnotes that have, I think, that explain the footnotes a little bit. Like, I want to go over the footnotes, and I want to. There's a section called Inspired by Sister Carrie. There's a comments and questions section of Sister Carrie that I kind of want to read. All of this I don't have time for tonight, but I'm interested in all this because this this novel took such a turn, man. Like, some of it wasn't surprising. I've seen stories like this before where like the classes switch sides, or like fate switches hands and places the lower and the upper and the upper and the lower. Like, that's not new, but like the general tone of the ending was kind of down, to be honest. Like, it's true. No matter what you want, you're always going to want more, but when you attain it, does it give you happiness? And what was the motivation behind that want? Was it to give you happiness? And then when you had it, when you had what you wanted that you thought would give you happiness didn't, you kept going for more? Is that like the very nature of man, or is that what people instills in men to keep the whole thing going? Oh, Carrie, Carrie, oh, blind strivings of the human heart. Can man never be sated? And if man can never be sated, man can never be happy. I think that's where we're going with this, because all of the characters had selfish motives, but that's a big part of that. It isn't necessarily fair to criticize, because a lot of these selfish motives are driven by a desire to survive. Not all of them, but it has that kind of frail, muddled want each person has, which is each person wants what they want, and it's driven by any number of things, and they're not necessarily survival, but they're driven by self-interest, ego, insecurity, security, influence, pressure to be accepted, pressure to please, any number of different things. But it does seem that at the end of it all, like when it's attained, there's a kind of then what to it. So that kind of asks the question, well, if you get everything you ever wanted and like you're sitting amongst the things or the people you got and you're still not happy, are you ever going to be happy? And the answer is probably no. Because I think happiness itself is is kind of this intangible term. Like, we all know what it feels to be happy and joyous and feeling exuberant, but we do treat happiness like this kind of finish line that we all go for but never seem to come to, I think. And although this was a downer ending, this is making me think of that. That all these characters tried for the things that would make them happy, but it ended up kind of making them miserable. I don't think Carrie herself was like miserable in a sense, but she was in the sense that she fell into the trap that people do when they attain something, that they always wonder if people that want to be with them for them or want to be with them for the spoils, you know. And you'll never really know if people want to be with you for you. And sometimes you never know that people want to be with you for you with or without means, you know. I think everybody has something to offer somebody else by way of enhancing another person's life. And that's not meant to be like a barnacle. It's just human reality that you be with other people or you seek other people out of necessity, out of a means of connection, of comfort, of intimacy, of all the human feelings that one has and experiences. I think it's a very curious, the passage, and I'll try to explain it better tomorrow. The passage that the guy talks about Carrie, about you have what the world wants in your face or something, you have that expression. And I think that was a very touching passage by Theodore, that the people that actually express themselves through their art are the ones that are kind of adored. And maybe he was leading her down the right path. Maybe if you try to express yourself through drama, where you're really laying your soul bare, you know, maybe you'll have a greater understanding or a greater fulfillment of what you're doing. Because even you're admitting that, you know, you're doing less work than those who are doing more and getting paid more, and those who are doing more are getting paid less. So of course you feel shitty. You're getting an easy pass in life, and it's not, and you know it, and it's not bringing you real fulfillment. You can't find that kind of fulfillment in fluff. The novelty of easy success wears off really quick, I think. So, just as the novelty of, like, I don't know, an age gap relationship wears off quick, or the novelty of a possession that isn't a person wears off quick. If you get a new car or a new whatever it is, like, it's nice to have it, but once you have it, the wanting of it goes away, and the wanting and the dreaming of it was kind of more valuable in parts than the possession itself, because you dictated the worth of the possession than the possession dictates itself. I think there's something to that. I might be reaching, but I think there's something to that. I've put off reading synopsis because I didn't want to spoil the book, and I almost like I didn't mean to take this long to read it. I think, let me see. Now I'm curious to see when I began to read this. I think 2 weeks ago. I did not mean to read this for that long, and I did not mean to make this many videos of it. Let's see. 12 days ago? Okay, so now I don't feel so bad. Not quite 2 weeks, but just about there. So 12 days ago, I started to read this, and, this book is like 400 pages. It ain't, that's not, 450 or 445. That's not a brain buster, but it's not, an easy climb. I do, like I said before, I do think it's a little long-winded. I think Dreiser could have trimmed this a little bit, but he was like 20-something when he wrote it. I think this is one of his earliest attempts. And he had that kind of youthful push and energy and enthusiasm to put it all down, to blurt it all out, to say what was in his heart. And it's at a very precious time where you're old enough to have seen enough and understand enough what life does to people, what humanity does to people, and what it means to be a human does to people. And having to operate and navigate with other humans what that does to people. I think he got that very well. There's a lot of lines in this book that are exchanged between persons that are jabs and are cutting, but there are other lines that are dear and tender and pleasant. The kind of exchanges you make on a daily basis between people. If you vary your experiences enough. So, when I finished it, I thought, I don't know if I liked that, but the more I'm sitting on it, the more I'm kind of, I think I understand what he was going for, but I'm running out of time tonight. I do think tomorrow I'll try to read all the stuff left in the book that I wanted to and kind of come to a better conclusion of it, but, let's see. Herbert Leibowitz. I don't know if that's a critic, but he wrote a piece on this. So this was my first Theodore Dreiser novel. It was good. Little long, little too long. But he was just going for it. And I can understand that. I'm very long-winded when I try to express what I want to express, And sometimes there are just some people like that just want to add, insert, say everything, say too much. And I get that. But sometimes it's annoying, and I get that too, even though I do it. But this was very good. I don't know when I'll read Jeannie Gerhardt. I don't know that I'm going to read another long book here, because this was quite a commitment. A few hours a day, 12 days. It's not a lot, but it is a lot, kind of. So I keep saying that, and then I keep reading books aloud. But I don't think this book is going to generate a lot of interested parties. But it's there if people want it. But yeah, I think for tonight, that's really all I have to say. I really, really, really wanted to watch the film version with Laurence Olivier, but I'm having trouble finding it. I don't want to pay for it, but I don't think anybody's uploaded it for free yet. I don't know. I'll find it sooner or later. But this is a good book. And I hope to finish the extras in it possibly tomorrow, and maybe read a little bit of the wiki of it and the cultural impact of it. I see that there's more YouTube videos on it, which are fun. It's really fun to see other people that have read this book. I didn't really know of this book until years ago when I was looking up Theodore Dreiser's bibliography. I'm one of those people that once I like a person and their work, I'm very curious as to their life and their work and how they made it work and what their productivity was, what inspired them to do their work, what was kind of the impetus behind their drive. So, and I think I read a little bit about that earlier with Theodore by reading his wiki. But I think that's where I'll stop now. But Sister Carrie is now completed on my channel. I did not mean to make that many videos about it, but reading aloud 400 pages, you can see that it took, let's see, it took 18 videos. I really bared down on this last one because I wanted to finish the novel today. And at 2 hours, that's kind of a lot for me. Not that I haven't done it before, but I was willing to do it to finish it, and now it's done. And I'm going to put the description in the playlist of that. It's the full novel, and I'll try to, again, for like the 5th time I've said this, wrap it up tomorrow and finish it and then move on to the next thing. But Sister Carrie by Theodore Dreiser. This was a very good debut novel. Hell of a thing to have a debut novel. Hell of a thing to write a novel. I can't believe people write as much as they do in a lifetime. I think managing to write one novel is pretty amazing. But maybe my bar is too low. But anyways, good book. I recommend it. And thanks for listening. Hopefully talk about it tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.